Tonight on Connect the World, Super Mario to the rescue. Global stock markets surge as the ECB unveils its boldest attempt yet to save the battered Eurozone.
Live from CNN London, this is Connect the World.
It is one of the most important days in the Eurozone crisis. Tonight, we explain why using a popular board game. Mario Draghi had pledged to do whatever it took to save the euro, and for now, at least, it seems investors believe that the European Central Bank president is delivering on his promise. Just moments ago, the Dow closed up more than 240 points. On the other side of the Atlantic, European markets ended the day in a sea of green, a positive reaction to Draghi's plan to buy up short-term sovereign bonds in order to keep interest rates in struggling Eurozone countries like Spain and Italy down.
OMTs will enable us to address severe distortions in government bond markets, which originate from...
So how did countries like Spain and Italy get themselves in such a mess, and how could today's announcement get them out of it? Jim Bolden explains.
To give you a better idea of what's been announced today, let's use a monopoly board.
So is this a long-term solution to the Eurozone crisis? It seems not everyone thinks so. Here's Donna Magna in Berlin to explain why.
Mario Draghi said there was one dissenting voice on the Governing Council of the ECB. And
well, my next guest believes Draghi's plan is a good first step, but only a temporary fix to the Eurozone crisis. Ron Hart is the Managing Director of Wealth Management at Morgan Stanley. He joins us now from CNN Center. Mr. Hart, thank you very much for being with us. It seems as though this is a very small Band-Aid solution to a really large wound.
It is. It's a bit kicking the can down the road, but it worked for now. Draghi has a role to play here. He has to give a safety net.
And that's what the Germans are saying. They're saying that the real problem lies in that that these economies need to do is that they need to fix their economy. They need to fix their country and move more into austerity measures, I should say. So why is Mr. Draghi not going down that route as opposed to this route?
Condition upon getting this money is the fact that they will have budget cuts and austerity in the future. That'll be the real test.
Hart, they're really good to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate that.
Great to be here.
You're watching Connect the World live from London. Our top story tonight, investors have welcomed a European Central Bank plan to ease the Eurozone crisis. Markets on both sides of the Atlantic closed up after the bank's president, Mario Draghi, announced a program to buy short-term sovereign bonds to help lower interest rates in struggling countries. You're watching Connect the World on CNN, still to come tonight. Paving the way for the president. Bill Clinton energized the Democratic Party faithful in Charlotte, North Carolina Wednesday night. But you're watching CNN and this is Connect the World. Hello, I'm Monita Rajpal. French authorities call it an act of extreme savagery with no apparent motive. They are trying to figure out who killed 3 family members and a cyclist on a remote road in the Alps and why. The family was on a holiday from Britain. As Emma Murphy reports, 2 little girls survived the brutal attack.
They had driven up this road, a family enjoying a holiday.
Well, French President François Hollande is vowing to find the killer or killers. He held a joint news conference today with British Prime Minister David Cameron.
I expressed my emotion earlier today and our solidarity to the British people.
Take a look now at some of the stories connecting our world tonight. As our Aisha Sasay was saying earlier in the show, U.S. President Barack Obama will take to the stage of the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina in just over 4 hours' time. He will formally accept his party's nomination for re-election with a highly anticipated speech. But Barack Obama... We're getting down to the wire at the U.S. Open tennis tournament, and one of the sport's biggest names is heading home early. Mark McKay is at CNN Center. And Mark, yesterday we were pondering the question, why was football's Cristiano Ronaldo sad? Today I'm sad.
Let me guess, you're a Roger Federer fan.
Yes.
I knew that about you, Monita. Yeah, no, you're not the only one out there. Millions of supporters wondering why Roger went out so early.
Well, also tonight, Mark Oscar Pistorius is trying to bounce back from a tough loss at the Paralympics. Any idea on how he's going to do?
We're just about ready to get that much anticipated race started, as you were referencing just before the break.
Moments of the game.
We'll continue to follow it here on Connect the World and, of course, bring you full details on world sport in just over an hour.
All right, sounds good, Mark. Thank you so much for that. Still to come here on Connect the World, a city of millions torn apart by turf battles. We'll bring you another exclusive report from the front line in Aleppo. We take you to Syria now, where fierce battles are underway for control of Aleppo, the country's commercial heart. Rebels are fighting not only to seize territory, but to hold on to every centimeter they can. Our Nick Payton-Walsh filed this exclusive report for us from the front line.
The new dead lie next to the old. Aleppo's old city, thousands of years in the making, but torn apart fast.
You're watching Connect the World on CNN. Coming up after the break, he was a child prodigy, a piano virtuoso playing at Carnegie Hall at just 13 years old. On this week's Human to Hero, at the ripe old age of 20, Benjamin Grosvenor tells us about the hard work, the sacrifice, and above all, the passion it took to get him to the top. Is ranked one of the world's best. You're watching Connect the World. When we come back, the presidential pitch. Former U.S. President Bill Clinton there energizing the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's primed the crowd ahead of tonight's big event, President Barack Obama's formal acceptance of his party's nomination for November's election. CNN's Aisha Sasay is at the convention and joins us live. Aisha.
Hi there, Monita. Yes, this whole week has been building up to tonight and the speech from Barack Obama, which we'll get a couple of hours from now. And even though, as I say, that speech is still well over 5 hours away, I want to show you the sights on the convention floor. And this place, this is going to be a very, very jam-packed arena. And they're waiting to hear what he has to say, how he sells his plan. Monita.
Highly anticipated indeed. Aisha, thank you so much for that. Aisha Sasay there in Charlotte. I'm Monita Rajpal, and that was Connect the World. Thank you for watching. The world headlines are next after the short break.